there was blatant discrimination. There was efforts to keep Asian American, out of areas. There are glass ceilings. There are reaction to language accent, to looks.
California excluded first Chinese and then other Asians from employment within the state government and in labor unions. Most of these anti-Chinese and later anti-Asian laws started to change after the Second World War. And it took a long, long time for behavior to be affected.
Asians were highly represented in the professional ranks, but had very low rate of representation in the managerial ranks. In other words, even though it's the professional people that generally get promoted, the Asians didn't. Public Law 95-507 was the first law that talked about, the federal law talking about giving some preference to procurement from minority firms, and Asians weren't included as minority firms.
It was through a number of meetings that came out of Asian Inc. The trade associations decided to band together. They formed a steering committee, which is known by the acronym CABA, or the Council of Asian American Business Associations. And so it was really in response to that particular piece of federal legislation, proposed legislation, that CABA was formed.
We used a whole bunch of things, historical studies and just everything we had to make a case for it.
And we wrote arguments, submitted to SBA. We went and testified in congressional committees, where I did, on behalf of the Asians. And we were able to get an amendment that was sponsored by Norm Mineta to now include Asians.
And we're very happy that the advocacy that the organization put forward eventually allowed the inclusion of Asian Americans within the federal procurement process.